Hello everyone, welcome back to your favorite political satire show, With the Facts. I'm your host, Jack Kessler.
And I'm Thomas Kohler. Let's get to it. Are you a young 20-something just out of college worrying about your future prospects? Maybe you're having a tough time looking for housing in an already crowded Wilmington. What if I told you you could buy your own plot of land on the cheap, and all you'd need is a Facebook account? Great deal, right? There's just one slight hitch. You'd be illegally buying up a chunk of the Amazon rainforest, and I'm not too sure the natives will appreciate your business acumen when you try to build a McMansion on top of great-grandpa's funeral pit.
Yes, now you too can take part in the destruction of what some ecologists have called South America's Garden of Eden, as Brazilian entrepreneurs, spurred on by tacit support from the Bolsonaro administration, have begun to invade chunks of the Amazon, burn down every tree in sight, and promptly sell the new plots via Facebook Marketplace. Indigenous and environmental groups are rightly up in arms over this scandal, but for many, it's just the latest in a long line of defeats they've suffered under uncaring administrations. But returning to our hypothetical broke-ass graduate, maybe you've got the cojones to rough it out in the Amazon with the piranhas, and the vampire bats, and the tarantulas, and the people who wouldn't think twice about driving you off the land any way they knew how. The choice is yours.
The U.S. is participating in the forced generation process for NATO mission Iraq, and will contribute a fair share to this important expanded mission, Pentagon spokesperson Jessica L. McNulty said in a recent briefing. This is the latest update in Biden's plan for keeping the Middle East stable and terrorist organizations in check, with personnel numbers expected to increase from 500 to 4,000. Also, over the last week, the U.S. has targeted several Iran-backed militia sites in Syria with several bombing runs from U.S. jets based in Iraq. Bombs over Baghdad or war in the Gulf? You decide.
You might be thinking that with all this talk of war in the sandbox, you're hearing a rerun of WTF from 2014 or 15. But believe it or not, it's 2021, and America is back. We finally have the return to normalcy we voted for. And if you thought that meant a return to peace, you're dead wrong, buddy. Gotta let the Warhawks blow off some steam every few years, you know? It looks like that when the Biden campaign said $2,000 stimulus checks were coming immediately, they really meant $1,400 checks coming after we flattened Damascus. It's a fitting time for a troop increase too, because in a few weeks we'll be celebrating the 18th anniversary of when the first U.S. troops entered Iraq. Here's to many more.
So you know when you move into a new place like a house or an apartment that was previously owned, and you look around the attic or basement and find stuff left behind by the previous owners? Sometimes it's little things like photos and toys. Other times it's more controversial stuff like porno mags, racist Halloween costumes, or CIA documents that directly link the Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, to the heinous murder of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018.
Yes, we all remember that incident, don't we? Well, even though it kind of dropped to the wayside a little while back. The CIA-led assessment was just declassified last week, revealing that they were able to confirm Salman gave the order to kill Khashoggi just a few weeks after the brutal assassination took place. While we all assumed correctly, as it seems, that Salman was the prime suspect of the crime, because who else could it be? Now that it has been confirmed, the new Biden administration has sprung into action. And by action, I mean sanctions, visa denials, and pretty much just a political slap on the wrist for the Saudis, with no consequences directly aimed at Salman himself as of yet. Come on, Biden. Osama's been dead for 10 years now. We need a new scumbag in the Middle East everyone can agree on taking down. That's how you unify a nation, damn it.
If you were unable to attend or just didn't care to watch the 2021 Conservative Political Action Conference, or CPAC, then we'll tell you what you missed. Former President Donald Trump and future New York inmate made a bunch of false claims about how the election was stolen by the Dems. In a beautiful confession, Trump said he will not be giving up on the Republican Party to start a new political party and is considering running again in 2024. Everyone's favorite Texan, Senator Ted Cruz, mocked Democrats for trying to solve America's issues while he was on vacation. Well, Senator, you could also be solving these problems too if you weren't in Cancun losing what little respect people had left for you. Man whose name sounds like a hate crime, Senator Tom Cotton, said that conservatives will always defend the United States. So that's what they were doing when they raided the Capitol?
And we can't forget the most important part of CPAC. A golden statue was erected at the conference that featured Donald Trump wearing American flag swim trunks, flip-flops, and a suit jacket and tie. With the Constitution in one hand and a wand in the other, this golden idol to Republican dreams could be an omen of things to come. Support for the former president seems undiminished in the party, as seen when the assembled crowd cheered Trump's first speech since leaving office. Trump even hinted at a presidential run in 2024, at which point he'll be 78 years old. Don't you just love Soviet-style gerontocracy? Well, that's this week's episode of With the Facts. I'm Jack Kessler.
And I'm Thomas Kohler. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.